Hello everybody, welcome back. Day 2 of the garden office deck build. Probably looks a little bit different to you, which is good. Means I've got stuff done. All I've done is chuck down a weed membrane, got another block in and another one on top of it. Just making progress now. So these blocks are level-ish to the line. Just been eyeballing it with my piece of wood and my one of my lengths of decking, making sure that I've got roughly the right height. I'm not too worried about being a couple mil out. You could be a couple inches out, and you wouldn't even notice on a deck this size. So what's the point? That's why I didn't go with the proper post system. If you're building anything bigger than a 3x3 like I am, definitely go with posts. Again, this is a cost-saving measure. Doing it with slabs underneath instead of a post. It's much faster in terms of drying times and blah 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 and planning. I could just eyeball these in and get it done. So we've got these ones in for the 4 corners, which are the main supports. This one here is going to be my main traffic, so I thought I'd definitely support the edge there a bit stronger. This one here is going to be right in the dead middle. That's going to take the bounce out of the deck, and I'll put another one there. Then with whatever leftovers I've got, I'll put one here and here where the bricks are. I've got loads of smashed up slabs, so that'll be absolutely fine to use those for that. Other than that, not a huge amount to report just yet. I'll check back in with you when there is a little bit more progress. Hopefully there'll be some wood on lunch break, tools down, 1 block to go, or paver should I say. Yeah, pretty good. And look, while I was playing with the kids, my missus came out and took away all of the crud from here, unearthed 2 more slabs that need to go, so they'll come out along with that 3rd one. So I'll dig those up when I'm done. I've got a load of bricks out, so we'll use those for a bed on the front garden. All the other circle ones are back there. So yeah, loads of progress, really chuffed. I think you saw the weed membrane down. Yes, you did. So hopefully in the next clip you'll see some wood on this. Okay, nice. So last clip I said hopefully there'll be wood. There is wood. Good to know. Thank you very much to my wife helping me move all. Hello. It's raining sand, is it? It's also very close to actually raining. Dun dun dun. So the astute amongst us will be thinking, how the hell do you build it that close to the thing yet still put screws in from that way? So when you're building with posts, obviously you can just screw through the post, or if you've got space around, you can screw through there. That's no good for me, because even with, I'm using these turbo hex screws by the way, 2 in each one. Even with that, it's not even enough clearance to get the bolt in, right? Let alone an impact driver. So what I've done is I've built a map. 2, 2. Alright, 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So I can take this off, screw them together out there nice and square, and then carry it back in. It's not perfect, but it gets us where we need to be. Then for the this and what are they called? Joists. For the joists, again, you have to measure them all up, cut them up, get them in, and then I'll pull the whole thing 6 inches that way or whatever, screw them all in, and then I'll push it back up against the office, and then I know my frame is perfect and in the right place, and then when it's there I can go through and put them all on this bit. So that's how I'll do joists and frame construction when I have 0 room. That's something that's been difficult throughout this project, was working on a building that could never be serviced from anywhere, and having very little room to work with. So yeah, that's it. Chalk line can go away now, but Yeah, chuck some extra ones on just so I knew where I was measuring from, or like where I had the wood, where it looked right. But don't really need to do that. Damp course ready to go down. Save ourselves a trip to the tip. Let's hide a bunch of rubble underneath. So, you know, you never know, that might come in handy. Doesn't matter if you break a slab or two, it'll still support. So yeah, don't punish yourself if you make mistakes like this. Just know Can of Rabbit Holes did it first, and his house hasn't burned down yet. God, I don't need that, Jinx. Where's some wood? Not right. And you can see that one's broken as well. But it's fine. The four corner ones that are the most important, they're good. So yeah, got my map. So now I can cart this wood over there, and start screwing it. Here's another top tip that I learned from my own mistake in the spirit of this series. Last time when I built the office, I thought, oh, well, you buy a 4 meter length of wood, it's going to be 4 meters long. No. So these are 3 meter lengths. I measured 150 from that side, got one mark, 150 from that side, got another mark. And we end up with that. And then I used the set square, right, to give me 2 markers so that I knew exactly where the middle would be for when I screw it out there. Do the same thing on this length, 3 meters exactly, right? I hear you cry. No, ever so slightly smaller. So be aware if you're doing something like an 8-foot build, if you're doing with factory cut 2.4 meter lengths, just give them a quick measure. You might end up having to trim 0.5 centimeter off or something like that, 1/8 of an inch, you know, for all of my imperial friends. So yeah, that's my top tip for this one. Be aware of that. I'm going to try screwing this together and getting it square. If you don't know how to get it square, screw 4 edges together, measure this corner to this corner and this corner to this corner. They should be the same. If they're not, give it a shunt, and when they're the same, that's dead square. And then you can put your middle one in to brace it. But because I've measured mine, boop, boop, I'm just going to screw it in, because screw it, right? I don't need this to be dead square. It's a fucking deck, right? You know, cut yourself some slack. No one's ever going to know that it was right or wrong. Except for all of you watching, right? Don't put it on the internet if you don't want people to know it's wrong. That might be the last clip if the rain stops play. I don't know. Hopefully I'll get some damp course down and stuff and catch you later. If not, do remember to give this a like and a subscribe on this new journey. And share it with anybody who's thinking of putting a deck in front of their build, especially if they're not sure how to get up close to it. Yeah. What is it? It's a big saw, baby girl. Yeah?
Can I have a big saw?
Can you have a big saw when you're a bit bigger? Thanks for watching. Hey, so things are going on. Got those in. Sorry for the odd angle. I am sitting down. So the that side, I pulled it all back. Oh, sorry. I built the frame over there, and then me and my missus just picked it up, walked it over, plonked it down. Got it in the right place. All nice and square and easy. Then I just divided up the bays. Took the length of this piece of wood divided by one more than however many truss. What the hell? Look, why does my brain always go blank on joists? There we go. One more joist, so 6 for me because I've got 5 joists, and then measured those in, put them in on the centres, and then this one I've put 2 bolts in there, and on this side I'm putting in 1 bolt through here, and then as you see it here, put 1 through like that, and then I'll put on the bottom 1 through like that, right? So a spike it. So we've essentially got top and bottom going through on that side. So there's 3 holding it together there, and that way I get the uniform look without having to do joist hangers and all of that garbage and pain in my arse. I can just put it together with an impact driver and a bit of quickness, which is nice. So yeah, there's top tip for that one. if you want the uniform look but can't be asked with joist hangers and the added cost and all the shirterized nails, like hours of banging in nails, or you can just do that. It's a deck, right? For your build, for your office, definitely joist hangers, shirterized nails, all that jazz. Do it the right way. But for a deck that's going to see minimal wear and tear and occupancy, just do this, right? If it falls apart in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, like as long as it's less years than that, which is going to be 20, 25 years, depending on how you built it, minimum, you know, it's just a deck, right? You can do this in a weekend to build it. So a repair to it is a case of taking off a couple of boards, swapping out a thing, or build a new one in a weekend, you know? So yeah, cut yourself some slack on this one. I'll let you know how it goes. I've enlisted the help of my beautiful assistant to film me. I normally don't do how-tos, just a how not to after. So another good tip is lay one of the bolts on, right, at the angle you want it to be inside the wood. And that way, when you go, right, you can line it up based on that trajectory, right? Oh, unlock your drill. And now I can see I've got it lined up with that. It's going to go exactly where I want it. Lovely. And that is solid as a rock. There we go, end of day 2. Fantastic looking. You'll notice I've done all of them. Used the trick that I showed you in the previous clip. And 2 bolts in the front on all of those. This one was sitting too high, so I'll just shave some of that off and put it back in. Tomorrow or the day after no, I'm working tomorrow at some point. Yeah, and this one's a little bit high as well, so it's holding that one off the ground, so I'll just shave some off of that as well. Other than that, we have a beautiful looking base. It's got the concentric lines for our boards, and we didn't have to do joist hangers. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, there's even space enough under here, I think, to disappear some more of the rubble. So I'll do that, fill those in. You know, if there's height enough, I'll even put it under, like if it lines up just right, I'll put it under and actually make more support out of it. Yeah, so that's it. We've got a fully functioning, sturdy as a rock already, yeah, base, and that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I know I said this in the previous clip, but do give us a like if you like what you see. If you want any questions answering, just ask me and I'll answer them in the comments. Yeah, again, still, there's nothing different about how I've done this compared to if you wanted to do it with the posts, other than you wouldn't have to dig a load and put slabs down, because you're cheap like me, you want to do it right. So if you were doing that, you'd want one in each of the corners of the main posts. So those 9 spots, and then you want one in the interim. So you've got 3, yeah. But instead of, you don't want the 9, you want 12, don't you? So instead of having one there and one there on the middle, you have one here and one here. And then one there and one there and one there and one there. So you end up with 12 for a 3x3. Well, this many things. But obviously, yeah, use a decking calculator or something like that to figure out how many you'll need. And then put your posts in the ground. I would advise doing this at the same time as building your building. Because obviously you'll probably be digging for the rods and stuff like that. But hey, it's going to be harder to build your build with the deck there. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, there's stuff to be gained and lost on both. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. It's actually wicked that people are getting something out of this and finding use in it. So yeah, let me know anything that's bugging you about what I've done, or that maybe you're not sure about how you would go about doing it yourself, like building the frame, like how the hell am I going to get the screwdriver in there when you're building in a very tight space, or if you're not building in a tight space, like, you know, I can also answer those questions because obviously I've done a lot of research on this before starting. Cheers. Bye bye.